Everyone, Jasper here from the park, and we're back to a new Simpsons review, and we are on the next Treehouse of Horror, which is, I think, number 5. Year number 4 or number 5 of the Halloween special. So the episode starts with not Marge or Homer saying to the audience that gruesome stuff that would happen, but Bart obviously going past some really weird paintings. And then Marge coming, saying that he needs to tell the audience about warning the viewers. And of course, telling him to watch Maggie, which he does Anyway, Maggie puts a pacifier in his mouth. And the first spooky story, The Devil and Homer Simpson. Yep, The Devil and Homer Simpson. The first spooky story. Which Homer, obviously, is at this place seeing some fashion shows with this donut, but it turns out to be a dream. Or a daydream. He wakes up, no more donuts. And they say that they ate all the donuts, and they put some on Grandpa Simpson with some birds, pretty much. Picking on him. Homer trying to reads this emergency donut that he signed himself. And the devil comes himself, which is actually Ned. Ned is basically in a devil costume. And pretty much makes Homer sign this contract, or this treaty. Pretty much saying that he would give him a donut for his soul. Yeah. Homer will give up his soul for the donut, which he writes, and Mr. Burns wonders who the devil is, which Smithers tells him, and yeah, we see the donut is brought out, and Ned also played as the devil on this horror story, says if he eats all of the donut, the soul will be his, which he has one bite left. And Ned says he will soon belong to him, which he tries to figure out what to eat. And he just eats the donut. That all just says stop, don't eat it. And he eats it. Obviously, he now belongs to the devil himself and is getting sentenced to hell. And Marge is wondering if he ate that donut, which they are now claiming of doing court for him, which he gets sentenced down into the dungeon, the bottomless pit, which gets chopped up, and pretty much getting sentenced to eating donuts, which he's actually enjoying. Yeah, he's getting so fat. Which, it is midnight, and Homer is in a fire cage. And the lawyer comes for, of course, this court meeting. We see the honor, which is this skeleton-like creature. And we see some dead people that come out. And they obviously are wondering the whole charges and wondering what is a contract and stuff. And yeah, the lawyer just pretty much leaves because we don't see him again, because Marge wonders why he's in the bathroom so long. Which they find Homer guilty and to go with the devil. Which, before he gets sentenced to the bottomless pit of hell, Marge shows everybody some photographs, pretty much. Some old pictures. And one of the dead people reads on the back of what it says that his soul belongs to Marge. Which, that means Homer is freed. And Homer, obviously, is being punished to a sentence. The devil basically sentenced him to face certain consequences, which, yeah, we see that as consequences of his head being turned into a giant donut. And Bart is obviously telling him that he better not go outside, and yeah, because cops are out there, saying that he's going to be out any minute. And then we see Bart obviously going to the next story, which is all about a bus. Terror at 5'1/2 feet. Which Milhouse is showing some trading cards of Krusty. Which a tire goes off. Bart obviously just wakes up because it was a nightmare. And Marge obviously telling Lisa to stop because Bart had a nightmare, which he then sees that Principal Skinner is driving the bus, but of course he's not. And Lisa is telling everybody to try not to make Bart feel bad or anything. Try not to pick on him, which, yeah, he obviously gets picked on. And he sees this weird monster, which when everybody's telling him where the monster is, Otto sees this old guy, which he hits. He runs into a tree. The old man runs into a tree, and his car blows up. Yeah, another explosion, and this old man pretty much running into a tree and getting blown up. His car blowing up. And then this monster, whatever it's supposed to be, is messing with the bus, and everybody's looking, and Milhouse is telling Otto who's driving the bus, and he's like, oh, right. And then we see the aliens once again pretty much laughing when that creature is also tearing up their ship. And he's like doing the neck kind of cutting off for Bart. And we see William pretty much coming on board. And Bart freaking out Milhouse. Which, yeah. And Bart pretty much having his hands tied. And getting his hands free. And Bart trying to get this monster away. And Homer drives by, Principal Skinner and William trying to pull Bart, and the monster gets put on fire and hits Ned's car, which he basically takes care of it. And, of course, the bus basically is destroyed, and Bart ends up in a straitjacket. He ends up in a straitjacket and going to well, where all the crazy people go. And he thinks that he can get some rest and some rest when the monster comes with Ned's head and he screams. And then he's telling the story of the last story of this special, which Homer is terrified because the dogs are playing poker. Which we say Bart Simpson's Dracula. Which this story starts with basically Count Dracula, obviously, which Dracula is also, obviously, on this story, Dracula is Mr. Burns. And Lisa goes on, which we see, of course, the chief of the police trying to describe it, and obviously she mentions Nosferatu, the vampire. And Mr. Burns obviously having blood just coming out of his mouth, which he invites Homer and the family to Pennsylvania. And remember Mr. Burns suggests to them if they wipe their faces, clean their faces. And yeah, we pretty much see Mr. Burns as a vampire. And I guess Smithers as a mummy. And they go out to eat. They're at the dinner table. And yeah, the red stuff that they're drinking is blood pretty much, which Homer actually drinks. And he's saying delicious. And Lisa purposely spills the blood on her and excuses Bart and Lisa to go and clean up, which they find laundry. And then they find this 2 secret vampire room, which they find some coffins and this book, which, yeah, vampires come out, which Bart is trying to tell Lisa, which they eventually get to, and he says super fun happy slide. He slides down all the way back to the vampires, and Mr. Burns obviously has Bart, which Lisa's trying to describe to them, telling them that they got Bart and he's a vampire, which we see that, yeah, he pretty much got bitten. They head back home, Lisa obviously being terrified, Bart flying in the air, and we see everybody else flying in the air too, because they're vampires, and he breaks through her window and about to bite her, and Homer's like, stop biting her sister. Then he realizes that he is a vampire. And then Grandpa Simpson comes in saying to kill him, and he flies away, and they're wondering how to actually cure Bart, which Lisa suggests the only way is to kill the head vampire, which of course in this case is Mr. Burns. So they go back to his mansion. He wants to pull the super fun happy slide, but they say no. And Lisa suggests that Homer basically has a mallet and a stake and a wooden mallet, and to basically stab him in the heart. The vampire, Mr. Burns, in the heart, and first he doesn't get it, and then he tries again, and he does. He melts away, and then he says, you're fired, then melts away. And everything seems back to normal, but Grandpa Simpson is a vampire. And then he falls. And then, yeah, it turns out everybody else is a vampire, which Lisa's wondering if Homer's the head vampire. But no, Marge is the head vampire, which they're about to bite her. They say Happy Halloween, and then they start saying, ooh, doo-doo-doo. And, you know, kind of like at the end of the, basically, Christmas Charlie Brown, pretty much. And we also see Milhouse pretty much playing the piano, and Santa's little helper dancing like Snoopy. And yeah, they're pretty much saying joy to the king, newborn king, at the end. And yeah, that ends the 5th Halloween special, if I recall. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Hit the like button. And again, I can't say it enough, another good episode. All of the Halloween episodes so far have been really good. And again, I can't really describe which one's my personal favorite. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure notifications turned on so you don't miss anything new. Let me know what y'all think. Catch you on the next one. Bye.